Well, we have got Victorian Lady. Wow, what's the word? I busted out a lot of Victorian Lady die cuts. And oh, thank you, Tamar. Welcome. I started with these, and I'll be showing them these sets a few months ago. And it was the first time I attempted to remove the background of an image. And they were okay. But when I went to work on Lamode and the theater ladies up there at the top, I realized I could make them better. So I went back in and redid all of my original ones. And that's why I have a note for anyone who had bought these from me. I think it was September I came out with them. I can't remember for sure. I want to send you a new set for free. So if you buy just one item, I'll include them in your package. They weren't bad, but these are better. I really caught their hands better and the little sticks they hold and all that stuff. So I thought I'd start with the newest ones. These are Lamode fashion dresses, ladies. Does that make sense? Oh dear. Let's put, guys, I have been working like crazy, and the bundles that I made for my scanned, like invoices, checks, ledger stocks, I had them in some pretty big packs. And I've been working really hard to get them down in smaller sizes because I realized a lot of people aren't going to want 20, possibly. Some may, some may not. So I've been splitting those down. And then I just added some music pieces that I scanned. And I have quite a bit in my buy it now. I added a couple new things. If anyone uses creative memories, I've got some scrapbook pages in there from the late 90s that are still wrapped in the original plastic. So take a look at that if you want. So, anyway, here are, look at that beautiful purpley pink. I was just in awe. Now, there were only two ladies with umbrellas, and I was short one to have nine per package. So I put her in this package I'm showing, this pack, and then in this pack over here. So if you see her twice, that's why. So that everybody had an umbrella, and there were enough to for nine. And please, if you see anything you want me to show, please let me know. And if you are a seller, I never have a problem with you sharing. And here's this one. Whoop. They just come out where they look like they're real. I love the bodice on this dress. And then look at this beautiful purple. Excuse me, my nose. All right, so I'm going to run this set and we'll get going. Tamar, thank you. These take a lot of time, but for whatever reason, I love doing them. Ah, thank you, thank you. I will run it again just in case. Has everyone had an okay week this week? It has flown for me. Dang. All right. Here is this set. Get it pinned. I think it's this one. I think these are just going to be adorable. I made some. Let me show you. I haven't done any. I've made them, but I haven't done anything with them yet. But I made these tags. I used coffee dyed paper for a base, and then I put antique French ledger pages. I don't know if it's all, I can't remember if it was all ledger pages. But what I see for a page in a journal, was putting her on here somewhere and then having a little, if you want a little something down there. This is what I primarily envisioned for them. And then we've got this lady. Some of the little cuts are fragile. Look at the coloring in that umbrella. Isn't that gorgeous? Her little cane was super thin, but it's all there. It'll need some extra glue at the tip, huh? We've got this one and this one. Here's a pretty brown. And I'm thinking this might be a wedding dress. I don't know. Look at the beautiful flowers on the bottom of it. So yeah, I scanned these and then I went in. You want some of these? Hi, Shelly. And remove the background. And what I feel like now is, s- you know, good quality cuts. You might just want all three, Shelly. All three sets. They are so pretty. We'll get this set started. And this is, so it's this set and the first set that um, has the same lady with the umbrella. I looked at what was missing, and there were only two umbrellas, and I wanted everyone to have an umbrella. So I picked that one to use in the second set. I'm running this one again. Thank you, Shelley. Yes, Tamar has been at my shows. That's thanks to you, right, Shelley? If I'm remembering correctly. Oh, thank you. For whatever reason, I like doing this. I'll show this one real quick, Shelley, just to see if you want this set. I so thought of you when I found these light colors. That purple is the only darker one in all of these, actually, all three sets. This lady, I call her Sassy. She's got her hip kicked out. Look at that purse, and I don't know what hung on the end of the sticks, but there's a lot of that. Okay, so I'll run this one just in case. That was this one. Okay, so the set with the purple lady is running. This one. I wrote Shelley, I said, I figured out how to do this so much better. And I said, I feel bad for the ones that have bought them previously. So we talked about it a while, and I finally decided I would offer a free set to those who had bought before. And what's nice, I can just look on Whatnot to see, who bought them. Oh, look, her little umbrella pieces. Some of the cuts are so thin. I had to redo this to make it thicker. Hi, Brian. So that it wouldn't tear when after it was cut out. That's pretty. And then we've got her. I love the variation in the blue. But if you guys have been here before, you've heard me say blue is one of my favorite colors. Now, this one, it's going to have a little bitty tear right there. I think those are keys that are hanging around her neck. And I just can't, if I thicken it, anymore, it's not just not going to look too great. So you can just be sure and give that extra touch of glue. Look at this one. Here's the other umbrella lady. I love this one. I don't know what, I can't figure out what it reminds me of. Maybe is it a remind me of a wedding look or something? I don't know. Let's see. Where is my other set? I'm getting ready for the show and I look and I have other things in Buy It Now that I didn't want in Buy It Now. Let me find this other one. Don't know if I missed her or not. First set, third set. There it is. Oh, it should be here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Should be 8 sets. Okay. I see it on the laptop, but not the phone. Oh, that is so odd. I'm going to hang tight. Sorry. Isn't it weird what I hate that you can do some things on the laptop and some things on the phone. You can't do everything on both. Shows, come on. Well, if I remembered the number, that would help. Where is 202? Well, crikeys. That's odd. Okay, I know why now. I didn't have it in both shows, evidently. But it's in the. It's so weird. I'm sorry, guys. Every time, I try to be ready and things happen. It seems like every time. 202. Oh my gosh, we finally got it. Whew, that wore me out. I know. Doesn't it drive you crazy? You think you are fully prepared and then things happen. So, yes, that was such a long wait. These are the ones we're looking at. I'll run them again real quick. Thank you, Shelley. These are Victorian fashion ladies that I have scanned and removed the background and cut them out. Yes. Thank you, Shelley. They are um, on 45-pound paper. And my idea with them is I made these to be tags and or well, let's say a tag for this example. But I used coffee dyed paper for the back, and then I put the um oh, now I lost my words. The French ledger sheets on there. And my thought is to put these ladies on something like this, and then we could add a little, like one of those little Tim Holtz tags or something down at the bottom, or we could put her down here and add one. But you've got all that yummy French, and then you've got the beautiful lady on there too. All right, the others, these are French. Okay, let me start over. I bought French theater magazine covers. He was selling the covers of these, and they're from the late 1800s to the early 1900s. And I did the same thing. This color is just gorgeous. So, yeah, I scanned the cover, got rid of all the background. That's the reason you kind of see this one come in like that is I believe she was behind or in front of a curtain or something, and it wasn't the same color. So I just went ahead and oh, look at all that fabric. Isn't that beautiful? This redhead gave me trouble. Her hair, you can still see a white border around her hair. It was like twice that. And I had to go back in. And I'm like, what is the problem here? You can hit remove background and it removes what it wants. And sometimes, most of the times, takes more than you want it to take or doesn't take enough. And so you can tell their faces, you can tell the makeup is heavier like theater would be, in a play. But I still thought they were pretty. Look at that beautiful lace coat. So we've got this first set. I've got two sets of the theater ladies. Let's see, where is the blue coat? I'm looking at my little picture. I shouldn't have taken them out of the bag because I had the number on the bag. It's lessons learned. What the heck? Oh, why am I having so much trouble? I got to put in the whole word theater. All right. So this starts at 7 for 7 of these ladies. So these colors just get me so excited for spring. All the beautiful pastel colors. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you, thank you. I'll run it one more time just in case. Just in case. And then let me pin this first this time. There we go. Okay. So we've got this one. She's got a feather in her hand and on her head. This is an older lady, I believe, or at least that's what the makeup looks like. Look at this pretty one. All the pastel. That's what I love about the seasons changing. It refreshes, and I like the pastels. And then in the winter, in the fall, the burgundies and the dark greens and the dark blues. This lady was um, leaning over onto a table, like a coffee table. So we'll call her sassy too. Let me get this one running. Okay, Shelley, thank you. We'll go one more time just in case. How is everyone? Is anyone on here a Survivor fan? Oh, I can't wait for next Wednesday. Season 50. That's just crazy to think that show has been on for 25 years. Well, the other thing I have sitting up here, I don't talk about them enough. I just, I don't know, week before last, I had a book show and I went through most of my books and I got them, pictures taken and dated, and I gave them a number. And these are the ones that didn't sell. And I just wanted to show you, in case you've not ever seen a French rag paper book. Most of the time, it's Roman numerals. I lightly wrote 1772 right there. I'm not going to do that anymore. I need to erase it. But rag paper was made, actually, I mean, really made. They made it from clothing. Most of the time, a rag paper book is going to be published oh, let's say 1840, 1850, or earlier. So if you see, publication dates that are later than that, then it most likely isn't rag paper. One way to know is, I don't know if I can get it to show you. One quick way to tell it's rag paper is you can see lines in the paper because they had someone go around and gather clothing that people were done with. Another group removed all the, buttons and all the extra things. And somewhere along the line, it got cut into pieces and they took it to, I don't know if it was another place or the actual paper mill, but then they took the fabric, it was cut into pieces, and then they added whatever they added to it. I need to look it up again. And God, it broke down the fabric, and I call it a slurry. And so if you've seen any recent um, videos on making handmade paper, I believe they usually use those screens where you have a square or rectangle screen with wire going vertical and horizontal. And then you put this pulp on there that has been, where the clothing has been broken down. And then that's how they made this paper. So they make the paper and then, of course, bound the books. And I've read then they would take it to a place to cut it. And some of the books, the ones that are considered more like cotton rag paper, they're white instead of kind of a off white. A lot of times they didn't, if you ever have a page that's still connected at the top, that's only because the cutter didn't, get all of the pages. So I just like to I'm going to start sharing more about what these rag paper books are. This paper, I mean, you could tear it, but other than that, it's pretty much indestructible. It won't flake. I mean, this book is 1772, is that what I said? Is that 200, 18, 19, 300 and whatever years, 350 years old? Am I adding in my head right? And none of the pages are flaky. It's just a beautiful, beautiful textured paper. And so when I fell in love with rag paper books, I would go for the ones that looked the worst because my intention in the beginning was to take them apart and use the paper for crafting. Use, you could use that to make tags like this instead of a ledger page. You could put a sheet of, well, you can even, you know, put a diagonal piece even across here and still have your lady that'll sit on that would sit on there. So yeah, I fell in love with rag paper. And so I have books in the buy it now. Look how grungy this one is. And the reason I think I hesitated is because it was from the 1700s. And that's why I ended up not taking it apart. Now, this one, it's number 25, and it's split right down the middle, the book did. But so that'd be awesome to have this. You can just hear that it's thicker. So if you have any questions on that, just let me know. Um, I Is there anything anyone wants to see before I start showing you a bunch of the scanned stuff I have done? Get these dolls out of the way. I don't want to mess up the cuts. They're kind of fragile, as they say. All right. I have, let's just start with some invoices. I have for the last 9 months or so, that's kind of bright. It's more like that color. I got a light right above it, and it's a to me a real pretty brown, light browny color. So I started buying French documents of all sorts, checks, ledgers, invoices, all kinds of stuff from France in the last 9 months, I would say. And I have scanned a very, very large amount of it. I know that there is use for authentic. It could just simply be because you want to collect it, and that's very understandable. I'm kind of in the crafting world with it, where I love the fonts and the fact that it's old and da da da. And if I were to use it in a junk journal, I would love to be able to use, all authentic, but I just don't feel like I would possibly get the money back from it, if I used all authentic stuff. So that's when it hit me after the tariffs came along in August and it cost quite a bit more to have things shipped over. I thought, well, what if I scanned some of these and we can use these in our journals and still have the beautiful fonts and all of that stuff. Now, these are just single sided, and I do that because I'm thinking I might want to print if there's a digital collection, say that, I'm using, I could do some of that printing on this other side. This is really pretty, smooth 28-pound paper. It's beautiful. Now, I've put it in most of my listings. I don't print borderless. And the main reason is I have bought several pretty expensive wide format printers. And the first one I got, when the maintenance box, which I had no idea what that was, got full, it couldn't be replaced. So the $800 printer I paid for was no longer usable. And I'm in my 60s and I was raised that we didn't need warranties. So I didn't buy a warranty on the printer and I had to buy a brand new one. So I went with a different brand. Well, I still wasn't smart enough to buy a warranty and it kaput. So I bought a third one. This has all been in the last 6 years, guys. They don't last. We all know that. They don't make things like they used to. With the third one, I bought a warranty, and I'm telling you, I've had to send it in twice and get a replacement. It, it just blows me away. So, long story short, that's why I don't print borderless because when you print borderless, the ink sprays out over the edges of the paper and fills up that box faster. Now, the printer I have, you can change out the maintenance box. So I've been debating on switching to borderless, but I've had so much trouble with printers, I just didn't know what I should do. So that is a pack of those. And what I'll do is let's see, I've got 42 pages and there's 6 different packs. So I will show you each one and run it in case you like that particular pack. Now on the picture, it looks like there's a blue in there, but that's actually a green. I have a set that is just blue. I believe that's American. We'll get to it. Okay, so let's get this one started in case you'd like a set of that. If there's anything you want to see, please let me know. Here's the next one. Beautiful shades. That's kind of a bluey green. It's got a real pretty red pink stamp on it. Look at that. It just the headers and the fonts just I just love them. This one I thought was cool because of all of this over here. Plus you've got those goodies. And the coloring because of the age of the paper really varies. Get this one rolling. Whoop. Yeah, got to hit start. That would help, wouldn't it? I'm trying to keep things a little more organized tonight. It's like after a game, after a show, it feels like there's stuff everywhere. Spread out from here to kingdom come. This one is pretty. This is I think it's showing it. It's a deeper green in the center, but look how the invoice I'm guessing was originally green, and now it's got this beautiful brown around it. Now you'll see also when I scan, I don't cut it off so that you don't see the chipped corners and stuff. I figure that's where we can tear it, just to make it look, like we like to do. We like teared edges and when we do our scrapbooking. Or I think most people do. You can tell that one had a water stain. So if you see the spots, these so far, I believe, well, that was 1919 and this one's 1887. I just realized that's the same one, same company. Ah, look at the color difference. I love these where they show the city and the buildings. And then we've got this one with the pretty coins. All right, so there's 7 sheets. Let's get this going. This one, if I remember right, has a lot of beautiful headers. I had a show Monday, and a couple gals picked these out, and they both liked them. That's before I had things kind of split down more. Look at that building. and the people and the cars. Isn't that gorgeous? And so I decided the ones that they both liked, I would make a pack out of just those. Got the French purple typewriting, and then you've got the blue and the it's kind of a lighter burgundy. Here we've got all this prettiness over in the corner. And look at that one. And then this is beautiful burgundy and a dark blue. I haven't been telling you the years. Most of them are going to be late 1800s to the early 1900s. This one is beautiful. It doesn't have a lot or anything, written on it. It's a blank invoice. But I couldn't pass up sharing this beautiful header. And we can always do fun things in that emptier space when we make a junk journal. And it's a running. I've got, I think, one more. Let's, and if you see anything that you want me to show you, please let me know. Okay, this is kind of a fun one. Look at that beautiful green. You can tell where they folded it in half. 1884. And then look at this beautiful pink. That one's 1931. And this is kind of an orangish, oh, not orange, but beautiful patinaed color. And then we have a darker green. You can see the difference between the two greens. That's a beautiful, vibrant green. Then we have this beautiful dark blue green. And this gorgeous, I don't know, like if you call it, well, I'd say this one's more like watermelon. When you add some brown, you got a little bit toned down. Then you got a real pretty bright one. 1888 on that one. Well, that one's running. I thought for somebody that wanted color, it'd be fun to have a pack put together that were more vibrant color. All right. What do we want to check out next? If you like the blue, I say the French blue but these are American. These are ledger pages that are, um, like I said, American, and they're in all different shades of beautiful blues. So I've I've either bought these folios, let's say a single one, or I have bought the whole ledger, which I've not bought a blue ledger, and scanned these. And they're just, I, well, I love blue. So it's no wonder I love them. Kim, hi. The other thing I do besides print borderless is I like, I found with some digitals that when you buy them, they print them so they fill the whole page, which makes sense, right? But you have a lot of the stuff cut off. And I'm one that I like to see the whole thing. Plus, I felt like this would give us different sizes if we wanted to use these in junk journals. So that's I do what's it called? I don't do fit to page. Fit to page blows it up to fill in the entire 8.5 by 11. That's a really light blue gray. Here's a really light blue. I love all the messiness on that. Here is another folio. So you've got both pages. Then we've got this gorgeous blue and this blue. So I did that today. I thought I'll just put together blue packs of things in case there's people that like blue as much as I do. And we'll get this running. There we go. 28-pound paper. It's printed on just the one side. 'Cause when I finally make a journal, I plan to print on the back side so that I can have some color brought in, with whatever digital paper I'm using. Or, just picking out a few to add whatever color to it. All right, so there was an example of the blue. This pack is pretty cool. These are rag paper documents. So you saw the rag paper if you were here, what it looks like in a book. And these are the actual documents that I bought and scanned. And I am pretty sure this first one is what they call vellum. This is really old, the document. I'm trying to find a date. But I'm pretty sure that would have a document was covered. It's like a waxy um, feel when you come across the vellum ones. This was a document that was several pages, and I just loved the front of it. This is one of my favorites. I love brown, to work with browns. And like I said, I leave this area open like that. Don't trim the page just because it's, where it was worn. I feel like that's where we can do the tearing and bending and things that we like to do. Look at this little tiny writing. This is another pretty one. All of the patina and the stains from all the years. Here's another one of the little tiny handwriting. And what you're seeing come through, like especially over here, is the back side of the page. This is a French list of oh, consumable type things, is what I was told. I don't read French, so I don't know for sure. And then this one goes with the other. Wasn't the other? Oh no, that's in the other pack. So we've got pages of beautiful antique documents. And we'll get that one rolling. Whoops. Sorry about that. Hang on just a sec. Oh, gotta get my phone stand. There we go. Hi, Tammy. I have been showing documents, French documents that I have scanned. I bought the documents, most of them from France, and then I have scanned them so that we could have a beautiful selection of papers at a lower cost, especially if like into the junk journal world. Hi, Millie. If you love French, I've got it. I was just showing some French rag paper documents. This is the other set that I have. I actually have bought these documents. That one's dated 1698. I have bought all of these either from France or I have gotten some here in the States from sellers who sell French and bought them, and I have scanned them and printed them so that we have some beautiful paper. It's with the thoughts of junk journaling, to have these for our junk journals. This is a list of consumables, is how it was described to me. Like, I think that's vanilla down there. I'm not positive though, because I can't read French. And then here, this one goes with this one up here, but we've got four beautiful stamps across the top. And then this is a certificate of something, pensions maybe, from it looks like 1750. We'll get that set started. I have bought a no, I sure don't. Sorry. I bought a lot of stuff from France, a lot of paper items, and here in the States, I've bought some. And I have just been scanning like crazy because when the tariffs hit, it became that much more expensive to have shipped over here. And so I got to thinking maybe I could scan some things and we can all have it and use it, at a cheaper price point because the French documents aren't cheap by any means. And they just got higher when the tariffs went up or when the tariffs started. These little ladies here that you see are fashion ladies, French fashion ladies that I um, scanned them and then I removed the background. I mean, it was a whole page, right? And I taught myself how to remove the background and then I printed them out on 45-pound paper, a heavier paper, and cut them out with my cutting machine. And my main thought with them, but I know there's a lot you can do, but my main thought with them was to use them on tags, say, in our journals. I made these. I used tea, coffee dyed paper for the back, and then I glued French ledger pages to the front. And I'm going to make tags. I still need to cut the corners, to put in a junk journal. So that's one idea that I've had for these gals. I mean, they're a thick enough paper, you could just tuck them in a pocket, they're not super flimsy except for where the little intricate parts are, like her cane is kind of wispy. We've got this one. Look at the coloring. Isn't that beautiful on her umbrella? I realized it matches her hat. I've looked at these, I don't know how many times. I can't believe I just noticed that. I'm thinking this might be a wedding gown, but I'm not positive. We've got this pretty lady. Oh, she's got her eyeglasses up at her shoulder. This one has them too, holding them up right there. I just think they're so pretty. All of those, the ladies in the fashion magazines. All right, so this first set is right here, and we're going to get it started. If there's anything in my bin or in the in the shop that you'd like me to show you, please just let me know. Well, guys, tonight's kind of a slow night. So I think, unless there's something you want to see, I think I'm going to call it a night. Everybody, you can take a look real quick. I'll wait. If there's anything you want me to show you, I'll be glad to. It's funny how some days shows can be hopping, and then like tonight, it's like slow for some reason. You never know what, you never know why. So let me know if you guys see something. Otherwise, I think I'm going to call it a night. Ah, sorry for all the noise. Trying to get those back in one of those crazy plastic bags. All right, well, um so I showed one set of the fashion ladies there. These I bought. A guy in Whatnot was selling, let's see, let me say it right. Magazine covers from a theater, or guess I should say theater magazine covers, just the cover. And the cover had these really neat ladies on there. So I think I bought 14 of them, and I did the same thing. I scanned them, and then I removed the background, printed them on 47-pound paper, and then cut them out with my cutting machine. Self taught on how to remove backgrounds. I've used a cutting machine plenty. I just had not ever dabbled in removing backgrounds. It's got a really long train. And you'll notice with these, their faces, you can tell they have theater makeup on, you know, because their faces, it looks, the faces look white, or with the fabrics and the colors are just so fun. I love how this one cut out, with the shape of the lace. Let's take a look here. I'll pin that set and we'll run that one. Tamar, I didn't see you come back in. And that's for this set. Thank you so much. I'll run it one more time in case anyone else would like a set. I think this is my favorite. All right, and the other set of the theater ladies is this one. I love that dress. And she was leaning over a table, so that's why she's positioned like that. Let's see, that's this set. And we've got her. Yeah, see how white their faces are? I do like this one too. The two ladies that look like Easter eggs. This one's pretty. Feather in the hair and in the hand. Ooh, and we'll get this one going. I need to get a drink. Shelley, I couldn't remember if you bought them, which ones you bought. Tomorrow, if you're still in here, is there anything you'd like to see? Tonight's a really slow night for me. Monday was hopping. Had a good show, but this one's kind of slow. But if there's whoever's in here with Paper Swan and I, if there's something you'd like to see, I'll be glad to show you. Otherwise, I think I'm going to call it a night. Thank y'all for being here. I will be back on Monday morning at 9 a.m. Central. I hope to see y'all then. Good night.